Hey, this is Jen.
And Jaclyn, and welcome to
The Spin Cycle.
As always, make sure you follow us on social at Spin Cycle Pod and subscribe to the Spin Cycle YouTube channel.
Let's get this started.
Let's go. All right, here we are.
Hi.
Live. Episode 1. Welcome to
Finally.
the Spin Cycle.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Me too.
A little nervous, but still excited.
We got all the nerves out. We got this.
Mm.
How's your day today?
It was good. I went to Baltimore. I rode in Ryan's class. It was great.
Nice.
Yep.
I taught this morning in Annapolis at 8.
How'd that go?
That's early. It's an early class.
On a Saturday, that can be early.
Yeah. It feels, that's what it is. It's just early for a Saturday.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have an 8 o'clock class starting
that's right.
in March.
Yes.
Maybe at the end of February in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
That's great.
It's exciting.
That's great. Yep. I know the folks in Baltimore will be really excited about that.
I know. Yeah, I think so too. So I'm excited about that as well. So, but it was a great morning up there, and looking forward to tomorrow.
The Grammys.
The Grammys.
Like, wait, what is tomorrow?
The Grammys are tomorrow.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
So, well, let's get going. I've had a lot of people ask me, what's your podcast about? So, as you all know, the name of the podcast is The Spin Cycle. And let's just start by introducing myself. If you don't know me, most of you probably do, but my name is Jen Selby, and I'm 53 years old, and I own Tribe Cycle. I started it a little over 6 years ago in Annapolis. 3 years ago, we opened in Baltimore.
My name is Jaclyn Whitty. I am an instructor at Tribe Cycle, and I am also the studio manager. I started at Tribe around the time that Jen opened up Baltimore.
Yep.
And I'm 35. And we're sharing our ages intentionally because we also happen to be really good friends.
Yeah. So the Spin Cycle, we thought it was a great name, funny name. But I think it encompasses a lot about who we are. One, we're both cycle instructors, and we're in 2 different cycles of our life. And we are friends.
Yeah.
Really, really good friends. And we've spent a lot of time together, especially over these past 3 years. And, I've had a friend of mine ask me how long we've known each other, just assuming we've known each other a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told them we met maybe a little over 3 years ago, they were shocked. They were like, "What? Are you kidding? You guys act like you've known each other forever." So I thought that was a really nice compliment.
Mm-hmm.
So we're friends, but there is a 17-year age difference.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe 17 or 18. I'm not sure that math's too hard.
If you subtract 53 from 35, no, 35 from 53. I believe it's 18.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you were born in October. I was born in September,
yes.
So they're
yes,
how it works out. But anyway, so with that being said, that's how we sort of came up with the name, The Spin Cycle. And then, we really thought about literally during a spin cycle, when you're doing your laundry, it is the fastest part of the cycle. And what it's doing is extracting all the water out of the clothes, right? Mm-hmm. So with that, we really thought we could take this and, maybe think about extracting things out, like pulling out some of the information that we want to talk about, whether it has to do with tribe, whether it's friendship, whether it's being a mom or pop culture, fashion, I don't know, whatever it might be. So I think it all was sort of full circle for us.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so, especially the fast part. I feel like we both talk fast, think fast, spin fast.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, yeah.
So it was just fitting. And really my hopes for this podcast, even though it's sort of out of my real comfort zone. I mean, it's funny because I think we have a different idea of how this came to be. I thought it was your idea. And then she said, no, it was your idea.
I remember the exact moment in the day that you had an Aperol spritz in your hand, and we were sitting at the tea room in downtown Annapolis on your 53rd birthday.
Oh.
And you said, let's start a podcast. And my first thought was, how am I going to have time for that?
Yeah.
And here we are. Well, I think the exact words were, we should start a podcast.
Yeah.
We should start a podcast. And I think my first thought, honestly, my first thought was, wow, like, Jen wants to have a podcast with me? Like, that's really nice. And then I was like, oh God, where am I going to find the time for this?
How many Aperol Spritz in?
I think it was just one. We were waiting for our table inside.
Maybe. I don't know. But that's, therein lies where it came from. But I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be a journey. And I think we have a lot of things to talk about and cover. My hopes for this podcast are really to give you like small bits of information and joy and something that, I don't know, fills your cup in the 20 to 30 minutes that we're going to be talking with you. So you leave feeling good. I don't feel as though anybody should do something if it's not bringing you a little bit of goodness in your life. It's too short to waste your time. And I know everybody's busy. So I think our intention is keeping it short, keeping it sweet, right? And just talking a little bit.
Yeah. My hopes for this podcast, I feel like, and if you're not familiar with the ride that we offer at Tribe, there is one part of every single class, no matter what class you're taking, and we call it the ride or the Zen or whatever the instructor may be calling it that day, or however they may refer to it as. And sometimes you just want to hear a little more. It's your time where the room goes completely dark and it's just you, it's just the bike, and it's just the lyrics of whatever song the instructor has chosen to play. And it also, more oftentimes than not, is whatever that instructor is speaking to you in that moment. And sometimes it's inspirational, sometimes it's motivational, other times it evokes emotion, and all of those things are hope to bring you. And it's really just going to be an extension of that with a little more.
Yeah. And we're going to be as, real as we can be.
Yeah.
So that's that's our intentions here. So welcome aboard. I'm a little nervous though. Are you nervous? You don't seem nervous ever.
Ever?
Well, not in front of like the camera.
Well,
no.
I think I do it all the time. I do it all the time, but I do get nervous. I think about the last time that I was really nervous teaching was the day that I came back from having Jackson. I was so nervous.
Oh yeah.
I remember my legs shaking.
Really?
Yes.
I remember as an instructor, if you're not a little bit nervous, especially when you first start teaching, you're not doing it right. So I think, there's always a little bit of nerves. I mean, I've been doing it now long enough where I've kind of worked through most of that stuff, but sometimes there's a lot of responsibility up there because while it's just teaching the class, yeah, that's easy, but it's the other stuff. Like, are you seeing everyone? Are you engaging with everyone? Or anybody need help? Or, so you have to make sure you have all the things working.
Yeah. One thing for me is that I say a lot in my classes to just like let go of those limiting beliefs that you have. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I would be such a hypocrite if I didn't do the same thing. Like, I have so many limiting beliefs. Are people going to listen to this podcast? What are people going to say about this podcast? I want to insert the latest Mel Robbins quote here.
Right.
But you just have to push past that, and talking with you and being your friend and sitting here sipping Prosecco doing this brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah,
so
same.
Why not?
Well, yeah, so I hope that translates to everybody else too. So like, we really want everyone to also engage with us. So I know on our Instagram, we have voicemail.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You can always leave us a DM.
Yes. You could. It's called a speak pipe. So the link to the voicemail is just right in the bio of that Instagram, and it can be totally anonymous. When you click on the link, it gives you a field to type in your name if you want to, but if you want to leave it blank, you can do that as well.
We've had a couple already.
We have, and we're excited to share some of them as we progress.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely don't hesitate if you have a question or you want us to talk about something, whether it's starting a business, owning a business, managing a business, being an instructor, being a mom, being 53,
being 35, being a new mom, being a tenured mom.
Yeah. I mean, you're so Jaclyn, your son is about to turn 1.
Yeah, in a week.
And my son is 21. He just turned 21 in December, my youngest. My older son is 23, and a huge difference there. And I think, it warrants just a little conversation to get started. That's, it's shocking to me. I don't feel that much older than you. And my life experience, just having kids from 1 to 21, I know what you've got in store for you. So I'm super excited for you. But at the same time, there's so many things that you've got to look forward to that are like, oh my gosh. And, so I'm excited to be on that journey with you.
Yeah. And we're excited for everybody here to be on that journey with us.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. So why don't we talk about how we met? You auditioned. You reached out to me.
Yes, I did.
So did you hear about?
So have always been super passionate about social media. I remember posting on Instagram when it was a trend. Well, when it very first started, it was these like filters. Do you remember that? There were these filters that almost looked like an old timey camera. Like I was posting on Instagram way back in the day. I just always loved taking pictures, like even to the point where I kind of entertained photography for like a hot second. I just loved taking pictures.
Right.
And then I fell in love with social media and just have always been super passionate about fitness. And then I was working in MLM. So I was doing Beachbody. I was always on the internet. And then I came across this story. I knew that I wanted to pursue fitness full time. And this girl that I was watching, she was talking about how there was a cycle studio that was opening in Baltimore and she was going to audition for it. I was like, okay, so if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Why not? And like less than 5 minutes later, I had found out that you were the owner of the studio, found your personal Instagram, and then DM'd you.
Yeah. And if anybody knows me on Instagram, I'm not that great at Instagram. I don't, if you DM me, you might want to get comfortable because I may not DM you right back. But for some reason and somehow I got your DM right away and I just responded back. And we were hiring. So, it was an intense time for me because I knew we needed more instructors and especially for Baltimore because it was just about to open. And yeah, so I think, we connected and then you came in and auditioned, which was great. And that was what, 3+ years ago.
Yeah.
You got the job, we trained and you were up and running. First class might have been a little rough, just a little. I wasn't in it.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, I didn't write it, actually.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But
I think that's another reason why we became so close.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So anyway, that's kind of how we met. And then I remember you had this job in finance, so you were already working a full-time job, and you were so excited about teaching, and you always were trying to be like, I'm available for any class, as many classes as you could manage with your full-time job. And I always remember being like, are you sure about that? Like, are you working? But you rode my class all the time and you wanted to teach as much as you could, which, I was really impressive. And I admire a lot, like, because you really genuinely liked it. And I could tell that you liked it. And, of course I love it and every part of it. So to find somebody who was really into it as much as I was, just was crazy for me.
Yeah, it honestly hard to explain. It was almost like a magnet was drawing me into it, and I always knew that there was going to be a time when I was just going to quit that job.
Yeah.
It's like, how much longer am I going to ride this out?
Yeah. How, we met, we've become friends, and we've now are just like rolling through, and that's our story.
Well, that's very high level.
Oh,
sorry.
I don't think we need to talk all about it right now, but we'll get into it as we go. Kind of share some of the ups and downs of all of it. So yeah. So Jaclyn, you probably know more than me about this. I heard about it. That'd be fun to try. So have you heard this trend that's out there? I might be real late to the party, but let's just go with it anyhow. So I heard there's this semi-permanent lip liner. Have you heard of that?
Yes, Jen.
And so I like the idea of it, but it's all over like Instagram and stuff. So I bought one and I tried it, and it did not. I mean, maybe I didn't do it right, but and it's called Lip Liner Stay In.
Stay in. I think it's stay in. I don't know. I feel like it's saying stay in.
My lip liner stay in.
Yes, that's exactly what it's.
That's what it is. And it's a mauve color.
Mauve.
Mauve. So you put it on and then you let it sit there. It's dark purple and then you peel it off, right? It's supposed to be there and it's supposed to last. Well, I did this twice and it did not work. But hey, there's always use your error. So I went online and bought this other stuff. It's called Wonder Skin. I've never tried this. Although maybe I did a long time ago when this first came out, but it was a lipstick then. So now it's like this lip liner. This doesn't say liner, but whatever. So I got you one, and I thought it might be fun to give it a go. So I bought the two colors, Charming and Whimsical. Ooh. I'm going to have you pick whatever one you want.
Okay.
And then maybe we can give it a go. We can maybe put it on our Instagram and you can see what happens. I don't know if anybody's used it ever, let us know, because I'd be curious if it worked for you. And if you've ever used this lip stay in.
As you'd like to talk it. Talking. So I have this note in my phone and it's titled Weird Shit Jen Says.
Oh God. It's not weird. It's normal words that she just doesn't know.
And stay tuned because the list keeps growing.
Can I just I'm gonna give a sneak peek because this was funny. I bought these glasses. They're from Look Optic. They're really cool. And they look like this. So if you are watching us on this podcast, so they're really cool, right? Like they are rose colored lenses. And I mean that's really where I want to be. I want to be looking through life with rose colored lenses. Have you heard of that term?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. No, I have. All right. So I think it's in some songs too.
Yeah, maybe. So I got these glasses, and she's like, "Oh, they look like gringo glasses," and I'm like, "What in the what?
Oh my gosh!
What so gringo? So like, I think you got that wrong. See, they look good. It's a shame you don't need reading glasses." So anyway, she said gringo, and I'm like, "No, Jaclyn. It's Ringo. Are you referring to the Beatles?" And I think maybe she was. So anyway.
It definitely was.
Yeah. So, but some of these things that she thinks I'm saying that are funny or unusual are very common.
You guys, you'll just have to stay tuned because I have a laundry list in this spin cycle.
All right. But it's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. Let's have a good time. Let's have some fun.
It's going to be so great. Can't wait.
Can't wait. All right. So follow us on Instagram. We're gonna how often are we gonna try to put stuff out? Every couple weeks?
Every other week we're gonna start out. We're gonna see how it goes. I would love to do this once a week. I have my own goals for this podcast. I know Jen has her goals for this podcast. Yeah. So we're just gonna see. Maybe we'll be in the studio filming the podcast sometimes. Yeah.
We're gonna take it on the road.
That's right. We're gonna take it on the road. So yes, follow us on Instagram. Share this episode to your Instagram stories.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Right?
Yes. This is like a Sleepless in Seattle. Like,
say goodbye.
Thank you for listening. This is. You've seen Sleepless in Seattle.
Yes, I definitely, like 100 times.
That's a great movie. Oh, I heard Meg Ryan and.
Oh, yeah, they did. They're in the Super Bowl.
Meg Ryan and Who's Your Lover?
Yeah.
What's his name? When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, yeah.
That's like one of my favorite movies is When Harry Met Sally. It's in my top 5.
I think it's in everybody's top 5.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Millennials top 5?
Well, maybe not millennial, but I mean, in my...
I'll never forget. Do you remember when we were sitting in limoncello after a ride one night?
Uh-oh.
And I was like, I think this was after we had a limoncello martini or 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm an old soul. And then what did you say?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, no. I say, I'm an old soul. And then you looked at me and you were like, and I'm a young soul or something like that. I'm young.
I do. Actually, now that's... Yes.
And I'm a young soul.
And I'm a young soul.
So great to And the person that was with us was like, that was so cute. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's definitely a couple of limoncellos in.
But anyway, I feel like an old soul saying that When Harry Met Sally is in my top 5
Yeah.
favorite movies.
It's Meg Ryan and
What's his name?
Are you kidding?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh my God.
Billy Crystal.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's...
Yeah, why did you say it first?
Because I'm 53. And I'm allowed to forget. No, but I just saw the commercial.
What commercial?
Well, I watch the Today Show when I can. I love that show sometimes. And they showed the commercial it's a Super Bowl commercial with Meg Ryan, Billy Crystal. They reenacted their famous scene in the deli.
They do?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
No.
You need to watch the
No, I don't.
I mean, yeah. So they're obviously older.
Yeah.
And there is a cameo appearance of somebody who says, "I watched."
But she's having.
And do you know who that is?
No.
Oh my God! It
can't be the same woman, right?
Oh no! It's a young pop star.
Is it Sabrina Carpenter?
Yes.
No, it's not.
No,
because I just guessed that.
Well, I thought maybe it's somebody like that.
Okay.
Well, I've really messed this up. I'm certain, but it's somebody like cool and young and fun. But I think maybe it's her.
That's funny.
I didn't see the whole commercial. I don't think they showed the whole.
Well, you can look at this not anything on the interwebs. I should add that to the list. Yeah. I don't think that's on the list. I've taken that
the information super highway.
I've started to say the interwebs. I've started to add an S onto like random shit. The Instagrams. Hey. You can tell me on the Instagrams.
This makes it more fun.
Oh my God.
I mean, can't take everything too serious. Life's too short. YOLO.
You're exactly right, Jen.
Did you hear this? Did you hear this new thing called, YOLO? Everybody knows what that is, right? But somebody told me now there's JOLO. Have you heard this? No, you have not. By the way you're looking at me. This was on the
What is about to come out of your mouth?
The joy of missing out.
You mean JOMO?
What did I say?
JOLO.
Yes.
Instead of YOLO. What does YOLO mean?
You only live once?
Oh, yes.
Oh, what am I saying? Oh, FOMO.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well,
I'm really testing you there with YOLO.
The
joy of missing out.
The joy of missing out. People are really embracing that term now. The joy of missing out. They want to miss out. They want to go on vacation and be happy that they're missing all the other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I get that, but
I can't really relate to that too much because I always want to be at the studio. No, I just find so much joy in being there. It just makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, but if you could step away and recharge, I think that's always good for everybody.
I feel like this counts as stepping away.
Oh, for sure. Well, this is just more for an extension of like who we are, what we are,
yep.
and how we are.
Yep.
So cheers.
Cheers.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of The Spin Cycle. We'll be back next Monday with a brand new episode.
Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on all social media at Spin Cycle Pod. Thank you guys again for tuning in.